Yeah! I snap upwards out of the sheets and sit bolt upright in bed as if an electric shock had just run through my entire body. The night air feels cold against the sweat on my bare skin, my breathing short and rugged, nearly to the point of hyperventilation. Mind racing, I bring my hand to my head and attempt to soothe my body's panic state. It takes me a number of seconds to realize my hand is shaking violently, even as I press it against my face. More seconds pass in complete silence, my desperate attempts to subdue my body and mind slowly, thankfully, working. Gathering myself, I start taking measure of the state I'm in. It feels like I've run a marathon, every muscle feeling tense and sweat practically pouring off me. I carefully direct my attention to the beating in my chest, measuring out the rhythm in my head. Sure enough, my unreliable heart is functioning properly, for once. Just what the hell was that? A heart attack? A bad nightmare? Medicine side effects? I've heard about panic attacks, and this does seem to have the hallmark of one. I can't even be bothered thinking about that right now. I feel utterly exhausted yet completely awake after this experience. I look over to the other side of my bed, the pale white of the silent figure's face almost glowing in the nighttime darkness of the room. Just the sight of her is enough for me to calm down significantly. Her graceful demeanor persists even while she's sleeping. Her perfectly measured breathing and gentle face making it impossible to tell whether she's awake or truly sleeping. Giving into temptation, I delicately run my fingertips over her hand. Her skin is soft to the touch, as it always has been, yet warm enough even in the cold night. It's at times like these, silently appreciating each other's presence, that I feel we're closest. My fingers stop at her wrist, and I bring my hand back down to the bed beside me. I'm not entirely sure why, but as we become even closer to each other, it felt as if something grew between us. I'm not entirely sure what it is, nor whether it exists before we'd fallen in love. Everything is moving so fast. I don't mind it at all, but it feels like Lily to be pushing things this much. Thankfully, there aren't any students milling around the hallway at this hour of the morning. Least I'd be interrogated by why I'm carrying 2 plates of breakfast into my room while dressed in an obviously hastily donned uniform. It isn't to say things like this never happen, of course. A single security guard patrolling between 2 sets of bedrooms situated right next to each other is a very small force compared to adolescent hormones. Come to think of it, the fact that it's Monday morning probably helps. I'm not really sure why, but Mondays seem to bother me less than they do most others. It takes a little creative use of my hands and elbows, but eventually I manage to work the door to my dormitory room open. Stepping inside, I see Lily just getting up from her bed and tiredly rubbing her eyes. She looks a mess, just like most other times I've seen her soon after she wakes. She really isn't a morning person. Sorry, I didn't mean to wake you. She groggily shakes her head. The morning light illuminating her makes for a very pleasant sight.
It's okay. I needed to get up anyway. What time is it?
I put my plate down on my desk and turn the clock around to check the time. Still early. Don't worry, there's plenty of time left before school. She sits on the side of the bed and begins to sniff the air. As she does so, I quickly move her plate away and put it on the desk beside mine. Yes, I got us some breakfast. Shower and clothes come first, though. That wasn't...
Shower!
They're communal stalls, though.
Shower!
Kenji walks in. Hey, man. What you up to? Go away, Kenji. Is somebody else here? No, Kenji. Go away, Kenji.
Let me tell you about the conspiracy again, since we're alone. Can I join you in there?
No, Kenji, go away.
She stands still for a moment with her chin pointed slightly out. I gladly acquiesce and press my lips to hers, savoring the soft feeling before breaking off. Why do I get the word acquiesce? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Fuck brain. What the fuck? With a small, sweet smile, apparently quite satisfied, she slowly makes her way to the showers.
Hey man, what's up? Let me tell you about the conspiracy. Hisao, that's you, right?
No.
Ah!
They've infiltrated my base! No!
they, they attack when I'm most vulnerable. my
Quick.
bulletproof leaf.
Yeah. Same beef, egg leaf. Same. It like takes it. It like takes it off and like throws it like a ninja star.
And it just like floats down.
Got him.
I stretch to try and wake myself up a little more, briefly looking at the steaming dishes on the desk. Rice, fish, miso soup, and some vegetables. A standard breakfast for a somewhat unusual day. I grab the bottles from my desk and start taking my daily regime of pills. Sometimes I wonder what these things are even good for, given all the troubles I've had since the initial accident. I can't even say that it doesn't hurt to take them, considering the side effects so far. Yeah, you remember what happened when you didn't take them? You fucking almost died.
Yeah, that's like the worst side effect. If
Death.
you don't take them, you're fucked.
Oh my god. Well, whatever. Doctor's orders are that I have to take them, and the rationality suggests that I'd be well served to trust his judgment over mine. It doesn't take long for the noise of the shower to cease. A quick one, apparently fine for Lily given the circumstances. Wait, he has a shower in his room?
How did he score that?
What? Why does he go to the communal one?
He went there after his run. Because it was probably on the way.
Oh, like it's all okay. Damn, he's got an ensuite. Emerging from the bathroom, she looks significantly more awake, having had the chance to collect herself. Without a word, I gently take her hand in mine and guide her to my desk. Considering I don't have a table in my room, as she does, it'll have to do.
Thank you, Hisao. What did you prepare for breakfast?
Just rice and some vegetables, something fast. Her face lights up at the revelation.
That's quite a breakfast. Is this normal for you?
No, she's just being nice. I have little doubt, considering her past, that this isn't exactly a high-class meal by her standards. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Just because we're students doesn't mean we can take it lightly. You know, I always question this. They go to the convenience store to buy food. So, I'm guessing they have, like, a communal kitchen in the dormitories? I never lived in a dorm, so I wouldn't
me neither.
know.
I know that
That's a lie, but the dorm that I lived in was highly unusual, and it wasn't here, so...
Okay, yeah, I know that the ones here are, like, super small. And we've probably, like, had our talk about this working at Triple B.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, the dorms are teeny tiny. It's like a desk and a bed.
Yeah.
Some of them anyway, and
then
some other
Lily
ones
has
are
a
actually quite
table. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess. And apparently he has a bathroom, so whatever. That's my belief anyway. From what others I've talked to have said, I might be in the minority. I take a seat on the side of the bed and begin eating together with Lily, her chopstick slightly tapping out the outlines of the vegetables, just as I'd noticed her do during our date.
This is quite nice, Hisao. I had no idea you could cook this well.
This time, she's much more genuine. I can tell that much. That said, cooking really isn't anything special at all. After a bit of practice, it's easy to make a simple dish. Most of the credit goes to the modern technology. Still, after years of cooking for myself, I should hope so. I got bored of eating instant noodles and ordering pizza every time my parents were both working, so I taught myself how to make a few meals. I'm still trying to get the knack of it, though.
You'll make a good wife someday, Hisao.
Ayo! That's my girl. I would totally say that.
I take a grain of rice and place it into my onto my thumb before carefully taking aim and giving it a good flick. Lily jumps a little as it hits her cheek right on target. I can't help but chuckle a little at her expanse as she lowers her brow and tries best to assume a harsh and serious expression.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, what is it?
Did you have any problem sleeping last night? You seemed restless.
So she was awake back then, or at least partly so. Whether it was my heart or a nightmare caused by the side effects of my medicine, the last thing I want is for her to be worrying about me even more. Even before my relationship with Lily, I felt my body was a drag on everything I did. My body is my burden alone. So as long as I'm with her, I'll continue to act as normally as possible. No, not particularly.
Is that so? Good then.
Luckily, she seems to take me at my word.
Come to think of it, there was something else I wanted to ask.
Oh?
How should I put it? When you dream, do you see people and objects?
Yes, of course Oh.
Still a dick. It's been months. You've been dating this girl and you are still a dick.
I feel more than a little sheepish for the slip of the tongue. However earnest it may be, Lily looks unperturbed though.
But you don't taste, feel, nor smell things.
I move to answer, but find myself stuck before thinking about it. The more I mull it over, the more I realize that her hypothesis is correct. That's true, I guess. I never looked at it that way. Are you saying that you do?
For the most part, I only hear in dreams, but yes, sometimes I touch and smell things as well. I'm just asking since Akira thought it very strange that I did when I brought it up with her. If you don't either, then maybe it's due to my blindness.
That would make sense. You rely on your other senses more than me, so maybe that affects your dreams as well. The wonders of the human body, I guess. For the rest of the time before school, we quietly eat the hearty breakfast in front of us, exchanging a few small pieces of small talk as we do. A quick peek out of the door assures nobody's looking directly at the entrance for the boys' dormitories, so we walk out with the path clear. The weather's good today. I stretch as Lily and I make our way outside, the bright morning sun beaming down on us. By now, a few students can be seen doing the same, making their way to the main school building either from the dorms or through the main gate.
It does feel nice and warm.
Our hands linked and a hurricane tapping on the ground, we begin in earnest our trip to the school building and join the chatting throng of students around us.
This would be the last day of exams, no?
Yeah, how are you going in them?
Fairly well, all things considered. You seem to be a bit stressed by them, though.
It's that obvious, huh? I don't think it's just the exams, though. A lot of stuff's been happening in a short amount of time, and I'm not doing that well in the humanities subject.
You're doing well in science, though, aren't you?
Well, it would be hard not to do well in science for me. Come to think of it, don't you say before that we weren't very good at science and maths? Oh, didn't you say before that you weren't good at science and math? Makes more sense. She suddenly looks very sheepish, my remark no doubt hitting home. Lily's sense of pride really can be a double-edged sword.
Well, aside from that, have you ever given thought to what you might do with that ability? It seems a pity to waste it.
A bit, mostly at Mudo's prompting. In any case, I'll probably end up doing science as a career in some form. Science teacher, English teacher, working at Yamaku. Do it! Do it!
Never leave Yamaku.
Yam-
Stay here forever. That's good to hear, Hisao.
As we enter the garden, I suddenly receive an unsolicited pat on the back. A green-dressed culprit dances around to meet me, evidently not paying any heed to Lily at my side.
Hey man, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while.
I've been busy banging. I mean, hey, I've been busy with exams and stuff. And banging. Oh wait, and stuff.
What? What was that last one?
And stuff.
Oh, okay. Exams, exams. A true Renaissance man needs no study to excel in such things.
Kenji does strike me as the kind of person that does well in school, even if he has a horrid attendance record and poor work ethic, so I have little reason to doubt his ability. To be honest, I'm a little nervous of him. Between studying for exams...
Envious.
Envious.
How do you do this?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Reset. To be honest, I'm a little envious of him. Between studying for exams and my time with Lily, I've had particularly no time to myself.
Practically.
I can't do it, okay? Just let it go. It makes sense.
Okay.
Maybe
I'll
this
shut
is...
up. I'll shut up. I'll make faces at you when you
Maybe this is a bit like how Yuko feels. No, God. I'm already having a rough day.
Good morning, Seto. It's good to hear you're doing well. Not Sato. They're not related.
Okay. I had to make sure. It feels slightly odd to see Lily speaking so formally. She's come to address me more casually over the months, though I have seen her speak more formally to classmates from time to time as well. Some people change, I guess. Not that I'd say her calm and polite manner is a bad thing. It was one of the reasons I like being around her to begin with, after all. Kenji seems to take a moment to work out who it is beside me, and probably hasn't noticed us holding hands either. I wonder if those glasses of his actually do anything.
Oh, hey Lily. Good luck on your exams too. I'll see you after school then, man.
The slight edge to his voice makes me think those words are meant to be an imperative rather than a casual farewell. I guess I'll have to smooth things over later. Sure, see ya. I guess. Kenji nods curtly. He moves to pass by us, but he's too busy glaring in Lily's general direction to take notice of her cane. Before I can try to react and save the situation, Kenji trips and reflexively reaches out for a handhold. Unfortunately, said handhold turns out to be Lily's arm.
I can't do this. Whoa. Ah.
You can. You have to do it to like Rin and Emmy. And,
I did, yeah.
Both fall to the ground in a sprawled heap, with me left feeling rather helpless. Ah, damn. Are you two okay? Kenji quickly rises back up, seemingly unfazed by the accident.
No problem, man. No problem. This is nothing. My body can take much worse abuse.
Lily lies face down on the grass. She doesn't look hurt by the incident, more startled than anything. I move closer to offer her my help. Are you alright, Lily?
Hey, Sato.
Kenji offers her hand, tentatively touching hers to let her know what he's doing. He says some odious things sometimes, but I do think he may be generally a good person at heart. I imagine he feels pretty bad about this. To his surprise and mine, though, Lily pounds on the ground with her fist without warning.
Damn it! Whoa.
Kenji.
Whoa. Oh, Kenji, you fucked up. You got the leader of the feminist conspiracy.
That's it. You're done.
You now.
You're done. Kenji freezes, entirely caught by surprise at her outburst. I'm just as shocked. She never acted like this before, not even around Shizune.
Oh, she mad.
Seemingly only now remembering that there are people around, Lily slowly climbs to her feet. Her face as she does so makes me retreat a little. I only catch a glimpse of her expression before she turns away, but it's not something I'll forget soon. I mean, that angle though, Lily. I mean,
That
it was
angle.
just...
Girl, you mad, but you looking fine.
Yeah. Ooh, is she a model though? She shows plenty. She showed plenty of annoyance during the clashes with Shizune, but this flash of anger is something else. There's no way that this is just about this petty incident. She pauses for a moment before sighing and walking on ahead. I really don't know what to make of this. I'll talk to you later, dude. See ya.
Yeah, see ya.
Kenji scratches the back of his head, trying to find something to say, then shrugs and walks away, giving us a wide berth. I quickly catch up to Lily. She turns her head a little to acknowledge my presence, but nothing else. I should probably scold her for lashing out like that, but I also don't want to get into a shouting match with her. She's still very obviously annoyed. In the end, I keep my mouth shut and wait for her to cool off.
I'm super curious and afraid.
Yeah, I feel like hopefully we didn't fuck up anywhere.
Yeah.
Or like there's still a chance to fuck up.
Mhm.
And this is make or break. Ah shit. After a quiet walk in, we eventually reach the top of the third floor stairs and the junction where we part every day. I turn to Lily before she leaves. While I do like the comfort and warm silence we usually share, this was anything but. I don't want to leave things like this. You seem quieter than usual recently. Is anything wrong? She shakes her head almost automatically, as if to dispel any notion that I need to worry about her.
It's just the exams taking their toll. I'll be fine.
I don't think that's the reason. I very nearly say so, but decide against it. There's no point trying to draw it out of her if she doesn't want to tell me, especially when she's in a foul mood like this. If you're sure, I'll see you later then. As I turn down the hall to my classroom, Lily's soft voice rings out from behind me.
Hisao,
Yeah?
I'm sorry.
No. No,
Why?
no, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
No! Why did... Whoa!
We can't be 0 for 2. This just can't happen.
We were doing so well. Okay, no.
I believe. This is
All
yes.
couples have issues.
Yes, and we're gonna
Work
work
it out.
through this. We're gonna work through this, and it's gonna be 10 times better because we did.
Yep, and then the makeup cuttlefish,
And that's it. And chinchilla.
and kabocha squash.
That's it. It's
all that
gonna
good
be the
stuff.
best.
Yeah.
With that, Lily makes off down the hallway to her own classroom, her hands skating along the metal railings. I stand still and watch her until she turns into her classroom and out of sight, before going to my own with a fair measure of reluctance. As usual, I'm early. Muto is fiddling with folders and papers on his desk as he prepares for the day while a handful of students mill about, chatting away. While my feelings about Lily haven't dissipated, far from it, her mention of my exam performance did remind me that I have my own life's journey to attend to. After thinking about it, I have realized that I do genuinely want to pursue science in some form as a career, rather than it simply being the path of least resistance. Until now, though, I didn't have much of an idea of where in the field I wanted to go. Just science is a pretty broad category of jobs. Something Lily mentioned earlier focuses my thoughts. Something I'd only idly pondered about before. I'd not seriously consider following this specific path. Science teacher! Science teacher! I walk up to Muto's desk, his attention too focused on preparing for the day's lesson to notice my approach. It's the same every day. Good morning. He looks up with an expression of mild surprise as he quickly replaced by his typical awkward smile. Yo, morning, bro! How can I help you? Do you mind if I ask you something? He looks down at his messy pile of books on the desk before putting down the papers in his hand and standing up with some difficulty to properly address me. You know, that's what I'm here for, bro. Just ask away, bro. I was just wondering, what would you say is the motivation behind teaching? He thinks on this question for a few moments before responding, evidently far from having a prepared answer. If you talk to 10 different teachers... Oh, wait. Oh, that's him. Crap. Yeah, well, if you, ask anyone, bro, I think they'll just give you a different answer. I mean, I'm a bro. I would know. I can only speak for my bro self, but I'd say I teach because I want to bro out, you know. No, yeah. He sinks into thought again, carefully assessing the way he wishes to present his idea. I just want to bro out, man. And I want to raise little bros in the bro way, in the broest possible bro puddles.
That's not even close to what he said. Well, but we'll go with it. It's out of your mouth now.
I like quickly scan the thing and I'm like, all I see is child and
Kids and
puddles.
puddles.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's what it is.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do when they're young. Well, it's just I want to teach them to be bro curious and just have the bro change and be bro thinkers like me, bro. This is so hard. I just want them to be bro excited about everything, bro, so they can just be real bros. I mean, the bro universe, the bro experiments, and the bro puddles. I just hope they can be bro excited. You know, even just one bro. They just need to be bro happy. He scratches his head as he mentally reviews what he said. You know what? If anyone actually wants to read what he says, they can always pause the video.
This is true.
That's all I have to say. I feel like I understand him better now. Even if he's awkward around others, he does have a genuine want to be around them and offer them a piece of his self as he values, or that he values. What Lily told me yesterday rings in my ears. I think you get on well with others, huh? She always did say I was unusually curious. Oh, sorry, bro. I'm just broing hard. Does it answer your question, bro? It does. Thank you. I also had another question, actually. Oh, bro, anything, bro. Do you have any college brochures or guides? It's about time I started getting some applications in. He nods and bends down to look inside his desk. As he does so, I notice that he is wearing a remarkably genuine smile. I don't think I've ever seen him act this natural around others. Perhaps this isn't Muto, the teacher, but rather Muto, the person.
Or Muto the bro.
Yeah, bro. Here you go, man. Just feel free, bro. He hands me about half a dozen brochures and booklets of various colors and sizes, which I take eagerly. Yes, it will be this information which I'll use to forge my own future. I think now, after all this time and all these trials, I can finally start to see the big picture of my life ahead of me. My body may be like this, but my mind is still very much able. Thank you. This is strange. That single thought has graced my mind a countless number of times since my life here began. It feels like an easy way to discard a troubling question, as if simply labeling something with those 3 words will make it go away, or at least not worth thinking about any further. My life before my heart attack feels more blurry every time I try to remember it, and my mind struggles to keep up with all the events suddenly happening around me since. I heard somewhere that this is what it feels like to be left stranded in a country with only the most basic understanding of the local language. Indeed, when I think about it, it seems a marvelously apt analogy of what's happened to me. But such situations are also supposed to make you very capable in that language very fast, as you're forced to learn it in order to survive. Put another way, the situation becomes sink or swim. I wonder if I've really managed to swim after all this time. The exams are stressing me out a lot, even though they're finally coming to an end, but I have remained in Muto's favor, and I have some sort of direction for my future now. But I keep on using that stupid, meaningless phrase. And this is strange. It really is amazing how fast one comes to accept being surrounded by people with something incredibly jarring disabilities and conditions. So much so that I really wonder why I feel so much like a foreigner. It certainly isn't for a lack of socialization or friends. I've come to know most of my classmates on first-name terms, and I know a few others around the school. Whether they're missing an arm or a leg, the students here are just like anyone else of their age. I can navigate the halls that I once lost myself in with an ease I'd not expect to ever have, thanks to the school's logical layout, and can engage my teachers in comfortable discussions. I swirl around gently the tea in my cup, the reflected image of my face becoming distorted by the moving liquid. Oh, Hisao, you handsome devil, you! This is strange. I used to hate drinking tea. Maybe I'm thinking too much. The familiar sound of china rattling from my teacup touching an accompanying saucer rings out.
Is something the matter?
Don't worry, it's nothing. I take a long sip of the tea in front of me as the girls do, just whiling away the time in Lily's room sipping tea with her and Hanako. It feels familiar, almost nostalgic. So, how's your work in the newspaper club going, Hanako?
I want to know too. It sounds like it would be quite interesting.
Hanako's face turns down at the attention placed upon her, though her smile belies the fact that she genuinely likes being the center of interest for the two of us.
It's good. I think I'm getting better at it. Naomi and a couple of her friends handle most of the jobs, getting stories and stuff. I just do the computer things, like putting stories together and getting it printed. It's nice, since I can sit and concentrate.
I see Lily's low-tech nature isn't shared by Hanako. While sitting in a room, compiling other people's newspaper articles into documents does strike me as overly outgoing, it is heartening to see her widening her circle of friends. Baby steps, I guess. It's probably a bit much to be expecting her to become a socialite like Lily.
How are you finding Naomi? I've heard she can be quite troublesome at times.
And Lily's going into her mothering type mode over Hanako. Letting go of her is something she's had to learn. Hanako scratches her cheek, thinking on her answer.
Naomi's nice. She's a bit loud sometimes and a bit tiring, but she's really helpful. Her friends are nice too.
That's wonderful to hear, Hanako. I'm glad you found such a source of such enjoyment.
Lily's smile is warm and genuine, but I can sense a touch of wistfulness to it as well. Hanako seems to miss that entirely, but I don't think for a second that I'm imagining it. I suppose it's because I've slowly come to pay more and more attention to everything going on around me. With things seemingly happening faster and faster, it feels like I'll miss something if I'm not observant as possible. With exams, my newfound love life, trying to fit in some studying regarding my options for college and university, my heart condition applying the brakes on everything at irritating random times, my brain's been in overdrive recently. That's a lot of shit to think about, holy fuck. It makes me appreciate the rare quiet times such as these. I guess this is why Lily came to appreciate her weekly walks to the convenience store and her tea parties with Hanako. Despite her like for being surrounded by others, it gave her a moment of peace in a chaotic and busy life. Thank God the exams are over, eh? The comment draws an earnest chuckle from both the girls. It seems like everyone's been a lot happier since the exams ended last week. So, what are you doing for the summer holidays, Hanako? I quickly count the days in my head. Today's Monday, the school finishes on Saturday. 5 days to go, after all.
I was thinking of traveling, just around a bit. There's a lot of places I want to see, and I think I have enough money to pay for the bus and train rides. Naomi and one of the other girls in the newspaper club said they might come along too.
Her look indicates she's given the matter quite a lot of thought. I'm kind of surprised that she's contemplating something like this. It seems she's really becoming intent in striking out on her own.
Is there anywhere in particular you're thinking of going?
I was thinking that Kyoto sounds nice. I think I'll try to go to a few places though.
Lily nods in approval, happy with Hanako's plans. While I cast my eyes to Lily, I refrain from asking her the same question. She's been evasive with her plans for the future for a long time now, but I never seem to get a good time to broach the subject alone with her. along with her. Every time it comes up in conversation, it feels like she's either unsure of herself or simply dodging the question. It's troubling. Be sure to call sometime while you're out and about. I gave you my number before, right? Hanako gives a quick nod, a happy smile on her face. It's strange to see how happy people seem to become when they have a goal to work towards. Yuko seems to brighten whenever her university aspirations are brought up, and now Hanako is just the same. So why do I still feel this uncertainty? And why Lily too? Relationships really can be irritatingly troublesome sometimes.
Oh, what time is it?
Oh. It takes me a second to remember that Lily's clock doesn't have any visual feedback. I really should know, given how many times I've been in her room. Nevertheless, I take my watch from my bag and quickly check it. The reason for her asking becoming clear. It's about 20 past 10, nearly curfew. Hanako rises to her feet, dusting herself off and neating her gown after doing so.
I'd better be going then. Good night, Lily. Hisao.
Sleep well, Hanako.
See you tomorrow. With that, she walks to the door and quietly makes her exit. Quietly and quickly makes her exit. Silence. This seems to be happening more and more between Lily and me recently. After a few seconds, I finally find something to talk about. Oh yeah, I talked to Mudo on Friday and finally checked out some guides on college and how to apply for it.
That's good news. If you're going to be applying for colleges, I assume you have some idea in mind of what you might do in the future?
I think I've settled on becoming a science teacher. It's going to take a while to get through university and everything to be qualified, but I think it'll be worth it. Lily's face brightens considerably at the news. I suppose with her wish to become a teacher, she's delighted I take the same kind of path.
So you've decided on a career of teaching? I think that path suits you most excellently, Hisao.
I smile and nod. This time, even if I know she can't see me doing so, I know she feels it.
I imagine Muto would have taken to the news well.
That's one word for it. He was really broing out. You know him. Hey, Lily?
Yes?
I know you want to be a teacher, but for a second I wonder whether I should really ask her the question on my mind. But that quickly brushed aside by the fact that this is rather late to have second thoughts. That's kind of right.
Surely you don't still think I'd be offended by something regarding my blindness.
Her accusing tone is betrayed by her grinning face, amused at my awkwardness in raising the topic. Some things never change. Good point, I guess. I was just thinking whether or not being blind would be a Oh, are you serious, Hisao? God damn it. Don't you have more important things to fucking worry about?
It's like he's asking for the bad ending. He's like, alright, CAPTAINLEGZZ, here we fucking go.
I'ma fuck up all your hard work.
Yeah. I present to you, ruining everything.
You're not gonna ask about the outburst. You're not gonna ask about, her being, not talkative. You're not gonna...
You're gonna continue being a dick and being weird about her blindness.
Oh my god. I never wanted to bitch slap a fictional character. Actually, that's a lie, because I watch I should watch a shit ton of anime, so...
I can list off 10 characters I would
Yep, nope, that's it. I was just thinking whether or not being blind would be a hindrance, but with your ambition to become a teacher and all. She looks mildly surprised before giving the question some thought. I refuse to think she's never actually pondered the issue before.
I wonder, Hisao, could you close your eyes for a moment?
Okay. Raising an eyebrow, I do as she requests. I have no idea what she has in mind, and my questions only increase as I peek out from one eye. Taking the black ribbon she usually wears in her hair from her cabinet beside her bed, she advances toward me while running it through her fingers to remove one stray hair remaining on the piece of cloth. I suddenly click onto her intentions as I feel the black strip make contact with my face, wrapping around my head and over my eyes. What exactly is this for?
It's a little test, Hisao. Since you seem to be wondering, I'll let you see things as I do for a time.
Huh. so that's what this is about. To be honest, this actually sounds kind of fun. Childish and rather silly to anyone who would be watching, but a bit of silly fun never hurt anyone. I stand up with a heave, my hands quickly moving out in front of me to warn me of any obstacles. Okay, so now what?
Now, touch me.
She naked. She naked. She gotta be naked. If she's not, I will be sorely disappointed.
If you say so, now then... I slowly make my way forward toward the sound of Lily's voice. My walking speed could barely even be called a shuffle, the entire experience feeling alien enough that I don't want to risk inadvertently tripping over anything, such as her table or her haphazard piles of books. Something soft yet solid brushes against my left leg. Further inspection reveals it to be Lily's bed. I move onwards, finding myself thankful that Lily's room is so neat and tidy. Even the piles of books she has in are generally kept close to the wall, well out of harm's way. The hard wall pressing against my outreached hands make me furrow my brow in frustration. Hey, Lily, where are you?
What are you doing over there? I'm over here.
Lily's voice comes from the other side of the room, far from where it was before. Even to my untrained ears, if she's going out of her way to avoid me reaching her, then is this just a game to her? Of course it is. Compared to life where even the concept of sight is an abstract one, a few minutes in a blindfold are nothing. I guess she's made her point. She's far more capable of navigating her room, and further, I've seen how independent she is even when compared to many of the others in Yamaku. Well, even if this is just a game, I may as well play it wholeheartedly. With a pace much quicker than before, I move towards the source of her voice, deftly sidestepping the table in the center of the room thanks to remembering its position. I've got you now. She gives an impish giggle, one just long enough to work out that she's passing just beside me. I quickly turn around to face the new direction. The table wasn't there before. Ow, ow, ow. I slowly sit up to the table, raising my blindfold as I rub my aching head. He hit his head on the table?
What? Is that what it...
I don't... The table's like on the ground. What are you doing?
I don't know.
I give an irritated kick to the table that's sitting just in front of where I fell, utterly pointless, but the thing deserved it.
Hisao?
Lily's still standing, just to my side, obviously unsure of what's befallen me. Was that the frustration that Lily had? Her daredevil powers, like, failed her, and then she fell, and then she got super frustrated because she should have known better? Oh, no. Sorry, I kind of fell over.
Are you hurt?
My head hurts, but I think I'm okay. I think the table moved in order to trip me. She giggles as she walks over and takes a seat beside me, her hand resting on my own.
I suppose that's the end of that then?
I think so. But I also think I get the point, though I do wish it hadn't involved such a headache. Lily suddenly looks blank.
Point?
And I turn an extraordinarily flat look. That was just for fun?
I thought it might ease you up a little about the subject. You always seem to tiptoe around it after all. In regard to teaching, sight isn't that important. There are plenty of classes taught by entirely blind teachers, more than enough resources for me to learn the subject. It's as simple as that, really.
I slump my shoulders and give a snort of amusement. Yeah, I understand. I guess we'll both just have to work hard to reach our goals then. What is it? With a little hesitation, Lily pushes forward her chin and closes her eyes in an unmistakable gesture. Another cussing scene! I accept gladly, our lips touching. As they do, I suddenly feel her hand snaking up my chest and underneath my shirt. The feeling of her hand against my bare skin is enough to make my heart suddenly accelerate. So she's in that kind of mood again. Well, I'm hardly one to complain. She does genuinely like this, and even with all my medication, my libido is thankfully still intact.
Well, you are a teenager.
I lean into the kiss further, holding her hand tightly as I feel it tracing the contours of my chest. Eventually, we break off from one another, the room silent, but for our breathing.
Hey, Hisao.
Yeah?
I don't suppose you could wear the blindfold again.
Get on my level.
Her tentative suggestion takes me by surprise. And maybe some handcuffs? And,
And all this stuff. It just like opens the closet. It's like, blah. Just
Holy shit! I suppose she wants to introduce me to sex through her eyes as well, or just wants to find out what I'll be like during the act while hampered by the blindfold. With a measure of unease tempered by curiosity, I do as she says and lower the blindfold over my eyes. The world becomes dark once again. I reflexively tense as I feel Lily's hand gently brush the side of my face, entirely unable to anticipate her touch. I really need to get more used to contact like this. Even after the weeks we've been going out, it isn't as natural for me as it is for her. Silence? Hey, Lily? I obediently follow her instruction and quietly listen, trying to make out something, anything, that's happening around me. Compared to before when I was chasing Lily, the need to carefully navigate the room's obstacle now gone, I can take my time and concentrate much harder on listening. It takes a while, but I can eventually pick out the soft sound of her breathing in the otherwise dead silent room. In, out, in, out. Measuring it against my own breathing, I realize it's definitely deeper than normal, especially for her. Another sound makes its way to my ears, one that I can identify immediately. I don't think I've heard it before, but... My heart skips a beat as I realize the source, my hand almost reflexively reaching out towards it. Her face feels softer than usual under my touch, her head just barely turning in acknowledgement towards the fingers on her cheek.
Hisao.
I gulp and take a moment to try and calm down. I need all the concentration I can muster while I'm like this in order to fully take in my surroundings. After a few deep breaths, I think I managed to collect myself. With a touch so light that it wouldn't disturb a feather, I start to move my hand down her body. And I can feel myself losing focus again, thanks to those thin silken pajamas of hers resting so perfectly over the curves of her body. If she's like this, then it means she has to be sitting against her bed facing me. Now, to continue. Alright, this must be her hips. If I just move slowly downwards...
Chinchilla! Hey, we both got
Hey! The kabocha squash.
it!
So cute. Just sitting
This
there.
my kabocha squash.
More. I want more.
Huh.
I can feel my chest tightening as I rock back and forth frantically, both of us entirely taken with ourselves. Nothing. That's unusual. I just need to take deeper breaths to steady myself. The feeling is just normal. Ah! This isn't... I can't... The pain is too much. I stumble backwards from Lily with unseemingly haste, clumsily hitting the back of my foot against the table and falling to the ground with an unceremonious crash. Breathing wildly, I frantically scrape at the ribbon over my eyes as I lay on my back. I have to get this off. I have to get this off. What the fuck just happened?
He dead.
For a moment, everything goes blank as the rush of newfound light assaults my eyes. My breathing slows from the brink of hyperventilation. Seconds pass and I carefully measure out the rhythm of my heartbeats with every ounce of concentration I can muster. My heart is normal. It's back to normal. My body feels utterly bizarre as I lay dazed on the floor looking at the ceiling. The adrenaline from before is still pouring through my veins, but my mind is completely exhausted. I prop myself up as I hear Lily getting out of the bed and coming towards me.
Hisao, are you okay? Hisao.
I'm fine, Lily. I'm fine. She gives a sigh of relief, her worried expression collapsing. Her face afterward is the very last I'd ever want to see from her. It's a face I detested when I first saw my parents at the hospital all those months ago. Pity. Lily pities me. I just close my eyes and turn away, powerless. I feel like throwing up. I can hear the sounds of Lily moving away and quickly attending to herself, the ruffling of her clothing being pulled back on after a moment of searching, just barely audible. Sorry. She slowly shakes her head as she finishes buttoning up her top. Her kind smile looks so fragile, so delicate, it makes my heart sink. Approaching carefully, she feels out the edge of the low table before taking a seat next to me, putting her arms around my chest.
I'm sorry, Hisao. I shouldn't have pushed my desires onto you.
You don't need to apologize. I'd normally be fine. You've seen that much before. I guess I shouldn't have tried to push myself so far. My eyelids feel heavy. Calmly sitting next to her like this is probably letting adrenaline work itself out of my system and letting my mind relax.
So that's why you never took the lead?
Yeah, I guess it's a good thing you like to, huh? Oh, the joke seems to lighten her expression a little. In fact, which helps me feel less unease about my unreliable self. Lily's head comes to rest on my shoulder as I struggle to keep my eyes open. With more difficulty after each blink, I feel completely drained.
It's okay, Hisao. It's all okay.
No sooner does she say this than a small, quiet tune escapes her lips. Entirely too tired to think, all I can do is listen to her soft humming. It's a soft, almost melodic tune. It sounds familiar, but the more I try to remember its origin, the less I seem to be able to concentrate. The feeling and scent of her head gently resting on my shoulder, and her warm body against my side are soothing. The soft humming of her voice, too, relaxes my mind as much as her warmth relaxes my muscles. This singular, quiet moment. After all this, I want to say fracas?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It makes me realize just, I was like, French? No. Fracas. It makes me realize just how exhausted I've become. I feel my eyelids slowly becoming heavier and heavier. Even with the chaos of before, I wish this moment would last forever. I don't want to close my eyes.
Don't wanna fall asleep 'cause I miss you, baby.
Anything more would be copyright. Lily and I together share a single solitary occasion together, just as we used to. But if that's the case, why does she feel further away than she's ever felt before? I just want some form, some semblance of, you're doing a good job, keep going, you're gonna get a good ending.